Good morning. Hi everybody. Just getting Instagram on as well before we start. Good morning. A couple of minutes late today. I do apologise. Hope everyone's okay. I was actually, confession, I was a bit late because I realised I didn't have my cup of tea. So I quickly had to make a cup of tea. I've not had one all morning. How does that happen? Good morning. Morning everybody. Hi guys. Hello. Good morning, hope you're all right. Cup of tea in hand. I was just saying that I'm a couple of minutes late. I do apologise, but I came to start and realised I didn't have a cup of tea. So I just had to quickly make my cup of tea. Because you know what I'm like, I can't function without one. Good morning. I hope you're all okay. Everyone good? Good morning. Everyone okay? Hi guys. I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. Oh, it was a busy day yesterday. It was brilliant, but busy. I was late for everything. Everything I went to, I was late for. Silly megabus. It's what should we get in a megabus to London for you, but never mind. Good morning. Hope you're all okay. Right, I'm going to have a gulp of tea, and we will get started because you know that I always have to keep them short on a Thursday because we straight from here literally switch off and we go straight to swimming classes. So you know that I always have to do a short one on a Thursday, but we've got over 3 Thursday, and I said to you not so long ago that we'd start thinking and preparing. If you have young children that are going to be starting school in September, and I get lots and lots of questions. Good morning. Off work today so I can finally catch you live. 18-month-old and 3-year-old sat watching with me. Oh, lovely. Well, I always make sure that I don't swear, or I try my best not to swear. I don't normally. So I will make sure I'm very good. As soon as I've got an audience. Good morning. Okay, so I was just saying over 3 Thursday, and today, yeah, I've been getting lots and lots of questions from parents asking what they can do regarding supporting their child and preparing them for school. So what I'll do on these Thursdays, every so often, I will do just a couple of activities or ideas and things that you can do to help your little one. But please don't worry about it. Don't stress. I know it's a big change. I may be very different this time next year when it's my turn. Of course, I've not been through it. However, I used to be a teacher, and I used to be that reception teacher stood on the door with the parents, getting themselves into tears, getting them... My husband's just logged in. Good morning, husband. What are you doing here? Go back to work. So I definitely know what it's like from the teacher's side, and soon I will be learning what it's like to be on the parent side of it. However, there's a few things that we can do to prepare our children. As always, nothing formal, just little bits and pieces that we can build into our routine to prepare them. And at another point, I'll maybe do lots of games and things regarding them learning their names and their numbers and things like that. Again, don't stress, don't panic if your little one is not writing their numbers, is not writing their name. That's absolutely fine. The last thing we want to do is put any pressure on our children. We want them starting school, excited, enjoying it, not feeling like they need to perform. So that's a really important bit. But there's just a few things that we can do to help them, to make the process a little bit easier. And I'll also talk to you soon about preparing them, about starting to talk about school. And there's lots of books as well that you can pick up regarding starting school and just starting that conversation. But like I said, no pressure. It's going to be absolutely fine. Your children will be fine. But I know between now and September, it's a long way, isn't it? And you just want to prepare yourself and prepare your children. So there's a little activity I'm going to share with you today that I think, like I was saying, along with the basics of names and numbers and that sort of stuff, is something that comes up quite a lot in schools, particularly with young children. Good morning, Susanna. With children starting school, and it's a skill that it would really help them. And good morning, Becky. So what I found as a reception teacher, and many other teachers found, that a lot of children are starting school unable to use a knife and fork. And so today I thought that we would practice. I will show you a few tools and things like that I use with Mason when we're cooking and when he's eating as well. And it just helps them, it just prepares them, because as you can imagine, there's already quite a lot on a teacher's plate that they have to help support the children with. So if they can start already using cutlery, then that is a really big help. Again, Doesn't matter if they don't, doesn't matter if they can't. And there's also some cultures where they don't use cutlery, and that's absolutely fine. But if you, at home you normally would, then perhaps it's something that you could maybe do a little bit more with and encourage your child so that they can use their knife and fork when they start school, particularly if they're going to be having school dinners. So I just thought I'd show you a few tools, and it's also by getting your child, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but getting your child involved in cooking and preparing food and working alongside you in the kitchen can be really helpful for them trying foods and even actually eating their dinner for once. I find it doesn't always make Mason eat his dinner. However, I find that if he's part of the preparation process, he is trying things at the time, which he maybe wouldn't do if he was sat at the table. So it's always worth just getting them involved in the kitchen. It's a really great skill, and helping them to understand where our food comes from, you know, understanding that chips are actually made from potatoes that grow in the ground. It's that whole thing. It's just about educating our children and getting them involved. So I'm just going to share with you a couple of things that I have been buying myself. I have bought these. They range in a variety of prices, but things that you can do to get your little one cooking with you in the kitchen and supporting them to use cutlery when they're eating their food. So I'm just going to have a quick go. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to start with this one because this is the lady that I met yesterday. So these are mine. So this is not a paid advert, and these are fantastic. And the lovely lady Catherine that I saw yesterday, she's on Instagram and she was on Dragon's Den. She used to be a teacher, and she has created these support children to use knife and fork, to be able to use cutlery. So if I just pull these out, I get them in the box, so I wanted to show you, because you can get them in like John Lewis and things, or you can get them on her website. So they're called Nana's Manners, and it's all about the old-fashioned way of getting encouraged to sit and eat at the table. And the cutlery that she's designed, they come in really funky colours, and we've got the orange one, and it's like it's hard, but it's got a really soft coating. It's really lovely. But the way that she's designed it, and I don't know if you saw it on Dragon's Den, because all the dragons were really interested in these, is the way that she's designed it is so that the children, their hands go into the correct positions for using knives and forks. And when I was chatting to her yesterday, she was just saying how popular these are, particularly with teachers and with schools, and lots of people working with children saying just how helpful that they are finding these. And it's just the way that it's moulded, and she was telling me the whole process of how she actually moulded it out of, I think she said Play-Doh, moulded it out of Play-Doh and designed it around her children's hands. But these are really great, and I'm finding Mason's using these a lot with his meal. He really enjoys using them. So they just sit like that, you put your fingers on the top, and then they can use them to cut. And these are really handy. I will do all the links afterwards so that you can check these things out for yourselves. But they're great, they feel lovely, and Mason really enjoys using these. And just lots and lots of practice using knives and forks. You don't necessarily have to have these at home. You might just have yeah, they are really great. They might just have just a normal set of knives and forks at home. It's just about encouraging your child to, when they're eating their meal, about using the knives and forks and getting them into that habit, because then when they go to school, particularly if they're having school dinners, they will be expected to at least have a go with a knife and fork. So it can be a really useful skill, and also it's developing their hands, their muscles, and being able to control and use a tool. So they are really handy and they are lovely. So they're Nana's Manners if you're looking for those. And again, the kind of thing, maybe using soft fruits, soft vegetables. I've got a potato here that's gone a little bit past its best. You know when they get a bit soft, just the kind of ones that you find rolling around at the bottom of the pantry. Get one of those out, and they're the kind of things that you can encourage your little one to just have a little go, have a go at cooking. Bananas are lovely and soft, so if you've got a really young child, chopping up a banana, slices of bread as well. Bread is a really one softer. Any fruits, any old vegetables, anything like that can be really great. And just do lots and lots of chopping and lots of practice. And it's not the food going to waste, because then you can incorporate it into your dinner, whether you're doing some sort of stir fry, or if you're doing fruits, you can maybe then make fruit kebabs and do things like that. So there's loads of options. It's not about wasting food. You can just reuse the food. It's about getting your child involved in the preparation, the process, and then, like I said, you can talk about where it's come from. So there's cutlery like these, and then these I bought these from I bought these from Australia, and I've been using, they came this week, that's what prompted me to do these. So they're called, I found them, but I've not found anywhere in the UK, so if you're in the UK looking for these, they worked out at I wrote it down. It worked out as $30 Australian to buy them from Australia and have them sent over, which works out about £16. So it's quite a lot, so you need to decide if it's something that you'd use regularly. And they came in this little packet. Now I got this one, which is like a little knife, and then this one as well, which is like a peeler. And they are fantastic because they are safe. So even if they do rub them on their hands, they don't cut. However, they do cut vegetables. I don't know if you can see that, sorry I did that off camera. They do cut the vegetables, so they're brilliant. So again, it's about getting your little one practicing with you in the kitchen, and you can get them involved in the kitchen. Can you see that they're nice and soft? So it's not cutting me, even though it is shaped like that. It's perforated, but it's not sharp. So they can't cut themselves, but they can have a go with veg, and it will chop up vegetables. Yesterday, the day before, I had Mason chopping up carrots. So again, carrots can be quite tough, but he was able to do it, and just getting them to practice holding it safely and using it in like the sawing motion, which is really great. Oh, thank you, Susanna. So Susanna on Facebook is saying, I have a knife from the Pampered Chef. You might be able to get them on eBay. Brilliant. That's what I want. If anyone finds them, any in the UK that are maybe a little bit cheaper, let me know, because I think it's really great. I've been following them for a while, and I finally took the plunge and bought some. We have some of those at work, I'm sure we got ours from there. Oh, if you can find out, some people are asking me for the link. I will do the links afterwards. I'll put it in stories so you can have a little look. And the peeler is the same. So the peeler's all plastic, and you can choose the colours that you want. The peeler is the same. You can't cut yourself on it. It's not sharp enough. Yet you can peel a potato. Now Mason found this a bit trickier yesterday, but it is quite a skill being able to. It does peel. I just demoed it there. This is my like Blue Peter moment, isn't it? So you can peel with them. However, they can't cut themselves. So that was a bit trickier. Mason's 3.5. And he's pretty good with his hands, but he found that pretty tricky. So just to say that, but I did buy the set of 2, and I found those really useful. So they came from Australia, but yeah, it'd be really great if anyone could find anything similar in the UK for maybe a little bit less, because yeah, they were about £16. But I felt that I would be using them a lot with Mason. He's really into his tools, using his hands, and I'm really keen to get him involved in the kitchen. So they were called, again, I follow them on Instagram, that's how I found them, Kiddies Food Cutter and Kiddies Food Peeler. I think they're Kiddies Food Cutters, or Kiddies Cutter on Instagram, and I think they're really great. So yeah, send me a Blue Peter badge. I think I need a little bit more practice for Blue Peter, but thank you. So they're really great. Now there's another one that I found, another tool that I've been using with Mason, and I got these on Amazon, and they're about £1.52 these cost me. You can get them in Lakeland as well, and it's a crinkle cutter. You may recognise them for doing crinkly chips and stuff with potatoes. They come in these jazzy colours. I got 2 just so that I could demo at the same time as Mason doing it as well. Oh, this poor potato's getting a bit of a hacking, isn't it? And the great thing about these it's just that it's a different way of using it, basically. These are, however, pretty sharp, and I've warned Mason, the edge down each side is really sharp, and then the crinkle itself is very sharp. Again, Mason's 3.5, so I felt now was a good time to do it with him. I'm not sure how children much younger would find it, and I'd be quite nervous of just how sharp it is. And again, holding the potato. So what I did for Mason was I actually chopped the potato in half. I'm just using the kiddies cutter to do that, so that the potatoes then laying flat rather than having a big wobbly potato. How many times can I say potato? The potato is sitting flat. He's able to hold it, and I was showing him, as the real chefs do, about keeping their nails to protect their fingers. And then we were having a go at chopping it, and they're dead easy. They are pretty sharp, and they can have a go, and they can chop them up. And again, it makes their vegetables nice and crinkly. It's a bit of the novelty factor that they might be a little bit more likely to have a go and actually eat it and try it. Mason did have a little nibble of raw potato, and soon realised that raw potato isn't great. And that's okay, let them have a little taste, let them have a little nibble of whatever they're making. But we did like funky carrots the other night, and then he ate them. I can never normally get carrots in them. So yeah, it's just, I found that really helpful, and it's £1.52 on Amazon. So again, if you go on my website, there is a link to it so you can find it. And I got 2 just so that I could demo. I was showing Mason we were chopping together. at £1.52. I thought they were a really great price. So you may have one in your drawer anyway that you didn't really think of what to do with it. Again, if you don't want to use vegetables or fruit, I was saying before about it's not about wasting the food. I would then use this food to cook. However, if you don't want to use food, you can maybe do something like Play-Doh. Play-Doh is a really great one for practicing with using tools with because it's nice and soft. Clay, anything like that, it can be really fantastic. But Play-Doh is a good one. And it chops does easy. And of course you can use scissors with Play-Doh as well. All the things like noodles and pasta and all that sort of stuff. And then finally, can I just have a gulp of tea? Sorry about that. So anyone that's just joined us, we're just talking about using tools and particularly cutlery, particularly the cutlery with little ones, getting them used to being able to use their cutlery, particularly if your little one is going to be starting school. And then I don't know if you've seen, this is actually a little cake set that from Wilkinson's. Wilkinson's have some lovely wooden toys in at the moment. Or you can get a lovely set of Melissa and Doug fruit and vegetables where you chop them in half. And again, it is, okay, it's pretend food, it's fine. It comes with a little wooden knife that's not sharp at all. And they're stuck together by Velcro, but it's just teaching your little ones about the chopping motion. And it's just getting them in the habit and also holding the knife properly, and they'll soon realise how it works. Sorry, someone's writing a comment, I can't read it because of my amazing food hair. Someone's saying that the crinkle cutter is really great if you've got slippery foods for using it on that. So that's great, thank you very much. Didn't realise that, I've not used it on mango and things. That's fantastic. Super. Oh yeah, if you have an older one preparing the food for the young one, if they're just going on to solids, you can maybe get them chopping up fruit. Great idea, thank you very much. Who was that? Bisley, thank you very much for sharing that. It's a great idea. Just saying, if you've got an older child, and of course it's always tricky, isn't it, trying to get them, keep them both entertained, perhaps you could get the older one involved in chopping up the fruit, and as they're getting on, if your baby is getting on to harder foods, you could actually get the older one involved in it, and something like that they would probably be able to manage, wouldn't they? So yeah, lovely idea. Thank you very much for that. This is why I love this community. And if you're not on my Facebook page, please go and join it. Go join the Facebook group because there's some amazing stuff being shared, amazing ideas like that. So yeah, it's great. Super, thank you for that. I'm just going to scroll up so I don't miss anyone else's. So I was just saying again about you can get some really lovely food cutting sets. There's somewhere, Melissa and Doug, where you can halve the vegetables and they're just stuck together with Velcro. This is actually a Wilkinson's one, again, really cheap. And you can just use a cutlery and you can actually chop them, and they're a bit fiddly. But they can have a good go at chopping it, and it's just getting them into that habit of using the knife, holding it properly and having a good go. And they can, even if you don't want them to be involved in the real food, maybe they could be alongside you in the kitchen practicing with the wooden and the pretend food while you're cooking dinner, something like that. It's just about getting them involved really, isn't it? About them understanding where our food comes from and things. So that's it for today, guys. Short and sweet, because you all know that I've got to run off to swimming lessons, the joy of swimming lessons. But yeah, so that was just a little thing from me I wanted to share with you today, because yeah, getting kids being able to use cutlery and tools, not just cutlery, tools as well, is a really great skill, great for their hand-eye coordination, great for their hand muscles, and it's also about them understanding the safety of how to be safe when using tools and things like that. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope so. Oh, lovely. Yeah. You're very welcome, no problem at all. I love sharing these things with you. So yeah, if you do have a little go today, getting your little one in the kitchen. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. Tussbot. Lots of people talking about buying Tussbots and things like that. What can I do in a Tussbot? I will quite often, drag the Tussbot on the stand into the kitchen and get Mason preparing food on there, because it collects all the mess. You can do it as long as your Tussbot's clean. Mine's not clean at the moment if it's been out in the garden. If it's nice and clean, it's just a really great way of doing cooking and things in there. Cooking in your Tussbot can be really, really great. And one of the best things I do with Mason is making jam sandwiches. We have an amazing story called the Giant Jam Sandwich. And then we do love jam sandwiches because you've got them spread in the jam, it's all sticky and lovely, stick it in the Tussbot and keeps all the stickiness there, onto the bread and then chopping the bread. And it's just really it's great at his level. It's just where he is at the moment, and it really suits him, so he's able to do that. So yeah, if you have a little go today at chopping up veg or fruit, send in your photos and I can send it, I can share them for the thumbnail, because I know everyone likes to see what everyone else is doing. Yeah, I think that's it today. I think that's it. I will add links in the stories afterwards. I'll do a photo so you can see what I was using. It's really, I find it really hard demoing to you guys. So I'll share it all with you so you can find out where everything's from. And yeah, I hope that's helpful. Right, it was absolutely pouring down a moment ago. It's now glorious sunshine, so who knows what's happening with the weather today. But I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you very much for tuning in. And tomorrow, Fun Play Friday, I've got a little fun. Do you know what? I'm not going to tell you actually, because I'm undecided. It might be an experiment, it might be something else. I can't decide. So I'm not going to tell you, and we'll just see what it is. So join me at 10 tomorrow with a cup of tea, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you very much, guys. See you later. Bye.